day to all. Today, I will be reporting about first language versus second language. Language is the most significant aspect which makes us different from all other species. Accordingly, language acquisition is the most impressive aspect of human development both in psychological and cognitive perspective. However, all the normal human beings acquire the language they first encounter as children, and then they might learn multiple languages, but those languages will always be different from the first language they acquire by being exposed to. So, it is evident that there are a lot of differences between the first language and the second language of a person. Let's explore the differences. A first language is the mother tongue or the native language of a person, while a second language is a language a person learns in order to communicate with the native speaker of that language. The first language is like an instinct which is triggered by birth and developed with the experience of being exposed to it. A second language is a personal choice of a person. There is no other alternative to a first language. A person cannot decide his or her first language. It comes to him or her as an inheritance, legacy, birthright. On the other hand, a second language is always fixed by a person. There are many alternatives to a second language. A person or community can choose second language among other languages. Some factors of difference for the first language and the second language. Age. It is the most important factor that makes a second language totally different from the first language. Children of the age of 6 who have already acquired a full proficiency in the first language are most capable of learning a second language. Adults usually find it difficult to learn a new language when they become too accustomed to their first or native language. Personality. A child's personality does not usually make that much of difference in the acquisition of the first language, but it makes a huge difference in the learning process of the second language. In the second language learning process, the learners with an introvert personality usually make slow progress than the learners with an extrovert personality. Culture. The first language is one of the most important factors of a person's culture, but a second language is not that important in anyone's culture. However, the second language has some effects on the culture of a person, but not significant enough to be counted as an element of that culture. Motivation. It is an important factor for the second language learning. A learner with a good motivation to learn a second language is likely to learn that language faster. But the acquisition of the first language does not require any motivation because it is a natural phenomenon. The first language is acquired subconsciously and there is no need for motivation to acquire it. Mother tongue. The first language is the mother tongue of a person. The second language learning depends on a lot of the structures of the first language. The structure of the first language, it will be easy and fast for the learners to internalize it. A first language and second language both have their effects on each other. However, as we have learned that the first language is natural and has a solid base in a person's intellectual and psychological development, the first language is not affected by the second language as much as the second language is affected by the first language. Finally, we can say that the relationship and the differences between a first and a second language are complex but constant. Once again, good morning and thanks for watching.